Gunner sees Steve and he's crying. It can be difficult to know GrapeApe. At any moment, he is often very impressionable and yet scattered. There is a nervousness about him that can make more personal characters a little uneasy. It is not always intuitive to trust or to be loyal or to keep secrets. Many people with this sun position have gained quite a bit of knowledge in their lifetime, but they don't often possess specialized knowledge. This is because he has a very short attention span. Now, I'm telling you, these aren't always sweet, okay? Although he has many friends, it's not easy to get close to him. He is usually quite affable, and he enjoys the light side of life. He tends to take things just a little bit too lightly, but he is fun to be around. Sometimes he can seem almost maddening to people. But if you are looking for support in a deep issue of life, you'd better keep moving. His wit can be dazzling, and his changeability can be dizzying. At the very least, GrapeApe will never bore you. He is an opportunist. He can express himself very easily, and he learns very quickly. He likes to travel. His weaknesses are he wastes his energy by doing too many things at once, and he lacks persistence in achieving goals. All right? The urge to work towards a goal for success and accomplishment and for power is part of who you are. You are uncomfortable in any position that you must take orders from somebody else. Recognize your ambition and your need for authority. Seek out a career that allows you to manage rather than to be managed. It is crucial that you accept the part of you that is ambitious, but take pains not to over-identify with an image that is not really you. A successful career is guaranteed in your life, but it may come a little bit later than you wish. You face conflicts in life due to a projection of a character that doesn't match what's inside of you. Misrepresentation of yourself is frequent, and you have got to learn to strive to understand how others perceive you and work on presenting a more accurate persona to the world. You will rub people the wrong way or feel unrecognized and misunderstood many, many times throughout your life. You know what you want on a professional level. You are aware of your objectives, and you do everything to achieve them. You carry out plans to the very end. You have a good job and a good reputation throughout the community. Depending on other positions in the chart, with your moon being in Leo, people are not necessarily, with your moon in Leo, you are not necessarily an outgoing person. When you feel comfortable, however, you do like being the center of attention. That is, you like being in the spotlight, in the comfort of your own home or with family and friends. You enjoy entertaining people, and you often take on the role of a comedian. You often feel the need to organize and even control your friends and your family. You have an inner mission to set all things right, and you like to oversee the goings-on in your little circle. There is a rather creative position to you. At the very least, you want to create and entertain. However, you can be rather lazy at times, and you're a little bossy. You do have a deep-seated need to treat others fairly and justly. You require lots and lots of love and care in order to function in the world. When you feel slighted, you can be very dramatic in your emotional displays. When your pride has been hurt, you will run off and sulk for days. This rarely happens, though, because you are too concerned about your image to make splashy scenes outside the comfort of your own home. In public, you prefer to take things that hit you in a very dignified way at home. However, you are given to big displays of splashy emotional drama. These scenes don't last very long, however. You are often personally easy to reason with. You are very popular. You are valued for your integrity and your very, very strong sense of justice. You are brave and you know how to take risks, and you have the courage and the convictions. You're very honest and you're very sharp. You're rather imposing. You have a great sense of and respect for justice. That's true. Organizational. You are very selective with your friends, but you're not very influenced by them. You have rather a high taste for splendor. Your weaknesses are your changing and your numerous affections, your emotional ups and downs. You are rather proud and demanding, and you brood when you don't get your way. You make friends very easy. You have lots of friends and lots of relationships. But sometimes the feelings of friendship are superficial, and mostly it seems like you will be blessed with lots of children. You have an emotional need for a feeling of belonging and getting support from your friends more than your family. You look to your friends for support. A changeable and rather unstable social life may be a reflection of your emotional unrest that continues throughout your life. Waxing and waning feelings for others can cause problems in your relationships. You are a person that is filled with many, many dreams, wishes, and hopes for your future, and most of these are with good-hearted values and desires. However, you may change your aspirations frequently with your changing moods, and you have a hard time settling on goals. What is Cartesian? Cartesian and logical spirit. I don't know what that means. It's just like it sounds, Cartesian. You are generally very quick-witted. That's true. You come across as somewhat scattered. All right, I got you, Annette. You seem to know a little bit about everything. It says you turn to, hold on. You turn to, that's interesting. You turn to Gemini men for facts and figures as well as your knowledge that you seek in life. That'd be interesting to look and see if you have a mentor. See if he's a Gemini. This learning is a little superficial because you have so much knowledge yourself that you don't really delve too deeply into another person. You get bored easily, but you are, again, a fast learner. In fact, you learn and process information at a lightning speed. The energy level at which you learn is unmistakable and unmatched by many in your lifetime. Your thirst for knowledge is never satisfied. You are a very mental activist. Your high mental activity. You undertake exhausting studies, always studying, always studying. You are eternally curious and you hunger for knowledge. You enjoy reading, learning, anything to do to teach you something. You enjoy exchanging philosophies. While you may not pay attention to details in learning, you get to the bottom line very, very quickly. Once again, you are intelligent, tolerant, with a very strong sense of justice. You have the gift of gab. You love to talk. You love to speak. You are erudite, and you will usually find that you are very successful in social circles. However, you will see that you make errors in judgment, and you are thought of by others as lacking in sincerity. You tend to just let things happen, and you are very happy just living in a dream world. When confronted by reality, you are somewhat hesitant. You might even have a difficult time throughout your life on and off with drugs. You have a great sense of observation. You are somewhat thought of as crafty, somewhat superficial at times, subtle and critical. You like your own ideas about things. You form an opinion, and that's it. It's not easy to change your mind. Now let's go to the love part. Love in the physical world for you is you are a creature of comfort. You revel in sensual surroundings, like Teddy Pendergrass. You project yourself as being very solid and yet comfortable. In fact, something about your manner promises that you will be a very satisfying lover. You need certain measures of predictability and dependability in your relationships, even if you are dating somebody that's spontaneous. You can be very possessive in love, and you are threatened by high energy situations. You are more of a laid back kind of person. Your lovers, however, might complain that you get a little bit too comfortable and settled in a little bit too quick. In other words, you don't keep courting. It says you may need to give in to them. You may need to give in to love matters more because they will not be giving in to you. Avoid pushing people in love. Give people time. You will need to cultivate patience if you are ever going to have a lasting relationship. Remember to be very simple and be very natural and have more comfortable, cozy time. Love comes slowly, but it does. You are not frightened by death. You are not frightened by the unknown. You have a very peaceful and happy ending to your life. You live a long life. You have a late death and a natural death with a big inheritance. Intensity is what you seek in your love relationships, so that casual encounters are not necessarily your game. You are easily bored with mechanical interactions between partners. You prefer drama in your relationships to the boring and the mundane. However, you always feel being vulnerable in love, and when you were young, you might have even got your heart broken. Your fear of being betrayed by your partner lies at the heart of your possessive and jealous nature. When you give yourself over to love, you love wholeheartedly, and you are all-consuming, total devotion, but you demand that in return. Love is a healing force in your life. Your charm runs deep, but just below the surface, there is a taboo, hidden, forbidden, disenchanted, somewhat broken obsession to be very possessive. In some cases, you even make a business out of love, romance, and eroticism. How about that? Last but not least, sometimes you have an unhealthy sensuality about yourself. You don't really know how to express your emotions. You are frightened of showing your love, and it leads to breakups, dissatisfaction. And if you had problems, it's likely that you had problems with your mother, who did not know how to love you or to give you the self-confidence that you lack. You are somewhat suspicious and jealous, but you will learn how to be happy in love and control your jealous nature in the second half of your life, thanks to an older person who will give you back the self-confidence that you like so that you can trust other people. Marriage is not for you. You like novelty, adventure, and the eccentric. You are kind of frivolous and unstable and somewhat unfaithful, it says. If you do get married, it will end in a divorce, written off as a youthful mistake as a result of numerous affairs. But you need to make sure that your line is continued. In other words, have babies. Slow and steady wins the race is your motto. How about that? Now let's go over and see if that sounds like, it sounds like GrapeApe if I know GrapeApe. What do you think, Grapey? Did it sound like you? Oh, I've got a private message which I won't read. Oh, Oral Shango's on the board. Oh, no. Well, say something. Did it sound like you at all? That was pretty wild. That was a pretty intense reading. I say they're not all flattering. Trust me, they are not flattering. Let's